All right, so get this. You've got football, you've got pop culture, and they're about to collide in the most epic way at the upcoming AFC Championship game.
Right.
We're talking Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen.
Wow.
A real clash of the Titans, both on and off the field.
It's going to be something else, isn't it?
It really is. And, you know, what's so interesting is how this game is becoming this cultural phenomenon.
Yeah. I think that's what's really interesting here is how it's bringing in so many different people. You've got the diehard football fans, of course.
Of course. Yeah.
But then you add in the Swifties.
Yeah, Swifties, exactly.
And suddenly you've got a whole new audience tuning in.
It's like the Super Bowl of pop culture and sports.
It really is.
Let's start with the Taylor Swift situation.
Okay.
I mean, can you believe it?
It's wild.
Travis Kelce actually confirmed she's going to be at the game.
I think it's a brilliant move, honestly, by the NFL.
Yeah.
Think about it. Taylor Swift's concerts.
Yeah.
They're known for their energy, the spectacle.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine that same energy brought to a football game.
Oh, yeah.
It could electrify the atmosphere.
Totally. And it makes you wonder, like, will we see
Yeah.
a new wave of fans?
And
like people who maybe weren't that into football before,
right,
but they're coming to see Taylor Swift, and then they get caught up in the excitement of the game.
It's definitely possible. I mean, she appeals to such a huge demographic.
Huge, yeah.
And a lot of those fans, you know, might not be your typical football viewers.
Right.
This could be a chance for the NFL to tap into a whole new market.
Yeah. So we've got Taylor Swift in the stands, which is already insane.
Right.
But then you add in the fact that Travis Kelce had some serious praise for both quarterbacks, Mahomes and Allen.
Yeah, for both of them.
He called watching them play like witnessing art in motion.
I love that quote.
Yeah, especially their ability to read defenses and make those split-second decisions.
Well, and that quote really captures the essence of what makes these quarterbacks so special.
It does.
Let's break it down.
Okay.
Think about Mahomes, for example.
Okay. Mahomes.
You know those no-look passes he throws?
Right.
It's not just for show.
Right.
It's about having such an incredible understanding of the field.
Wow.
That he knows where his receivers will be before they even do.
Unbelievable.
That takes timing precision and almost superhuman awareness of everything happening around him.
So it's like he's playing chess, but instead of pieces,
yes,
he's moving his teammates around the field.
Exactly.
Wow.
And then you've got Josh Allen, who's like a force of nature.
He is something else.
His size, his speed, and arm strength
allow
him to make plays that most quarterbacks wouldn't even dream of.
I know.
Attempting. He can scramble out of the pocket, extend plays, and deliver those laser-like throws downfield, even with defenders all over him.
It's like they're operating on a different level. I mean, I try to do a no-look pass when I'm playing catch with my kids.
Right.
And it usually ends up hitting the neighbor's car.
Exactly. It's a level of skill and athleticism that most of us can only dream of.
I know.
And what's fascinating is that Kelce recognizes this brilliance in both Mahomes and Allen.
Yeah.
Even though they're direct competitors.
And that brings us to the whole rivalry aspect.
Really?
These two teams, the Chiefs and the Bills.
Yeah.
They've had some epic battles in recent seasons.
Oh, yeah. Some of the best games in recent history.
But even with that intense competition, Kelce also talked about the friendship and respect that exists off the field.
I love that.
He said, at the end of the day, we're all trying to compete, but we're also friends off the field.
That's something that's often overlooked, I think, in the world of professional sports.
I think so, too.
We tend to focus on the rivalries, the trash talks, the desire to win at all costs.
Yeah.
But what Kelce's highlighting here is that deeper level of respect and camaraderie that exists between these athletes.
Right.
They understand the sacrifices, the dedication, the sheer willpower that it takes to reach this level.
They've all been through it.
Exactly.
So even though they're battling it out on the field,
Yeah.
they can still acknowledge each other's talent and hard work.
Right.
It makes you wonder,
It does.
can you have that kind of intense competition in other areas of
Like
life
in other areas.
while still maintaining that respect?
Yeah.
Maybe in your career or even in your personal relationships.
It's an interesting question to consider, isn't it?
It is.
Is it possible to push yourself to be the best,
Yeah.
to strive for victory
Yeah.
without losing sight of the human connection?
Without losing that human connection. Yeah.
Perhaps this game will give us some insights into that delicate balance.
I think it will.
Yeah.
Now let's shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about the game itself.
All right, let's get into it.
I mean, this is the AFC Championship.
It's huge.
The stakes don't get much higher than this.
No, they don't.
You've got two powerhouses going head-to-head, both with incredibly talented quarterbacks.
Right.
What are you expecting in terms of scoring?
Well, I think we're going to see a lot of points.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you think it'll be a high-scoring affair, like many analysts are predicting?
I think it could be.
Absolutely. I mean, both the Chiefs and the Bills have offensive firepower.
Oh, yeah.
That's almost unmatched in the league.
They really do.
Think about it. The Chiefs have Mahomes, Kelce, and a whole arsenal of weapons.
They do.
And then the Bills have Allen, who can run and pass with equal effectiveness.
It's true.
Plus a receiving core that can make big plays.
So we're talking about two teams that can score quickly and from anywhere on the field.
Exactly. And that's what makes this matchup so exciting.
Yeah.
You've got two explosive offenses going up against each other.
Right.
And it's likely going to come down to who can make the biggest plays and who can limit the other team's scoring opportunities.
Right.
This is where the strategic side of the game becomes so crucial.
Speaking of strategy, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the coaching matchup.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about the players.
We have.
But what role did the coaches play in a game of this magnitude?
The coaches are like the masterminds behind the scenes.
Okay.
They're the ones who develop the game plan, analyze the opponent's weaknesses, and make adjustments on the fly.
So it's like a chess match where they're constantly trying to outmaneuver each other.
Exactly.
Ah.
And put their players in the best position to succeed.
So it's not just about having talented players.
Yeah.
It's about having a coach who can utilize those talents effectively.
Precisely.
Interesting.
The great coach can inspire their players, instill confidence, and make those critical in-game decisions that can swing the momentum.
Think about some of the most memorable games in NFL history.
Yeah.
Often it's a coaching decision that turns the tide.
It really is.
A gutsy play call, a perfectly timed timeout, or a brilliant defensive scheme.
Those can all be game changers.
They can.
Absolutely.
And in a game like this, where the talent level is so high on both sides, the coaching battle might be the deciding factor.
It very well could be.
I'm also wondering, do you think the coaches are feeling any extra pressure?
Oh, that's a good one.
With Taylor Swift in attendance?
Interesting.
I mean, it's not every day.
No, it's not.
That you have a global superstar watching your team play.
Perhaps they definitely want to put on a good show.
Sure.
Not just for the fans in this stadium.
Right.
But for the millions watching around the world.
Right.
But at the end of the day, their primary focus is on winning the game.
Winning the game. Yeah. It's a high-pressure environment for everyone involved.
It is.
From the players to the coaches to the fans.
And that's what makes it so captivating.
It really is.
This AFC Championship game is a culmination of months of hard work, dedication, and strategy.
Right.
It's a true spectacle of athleticism, strategy, and human drama.
And this year, it has this added layer of pop culture intrigue with Taylor Swift's presence.
Right.
It's almost like a real-life reality show unfolding before our eyes.
It really is.
We've got the star power, the intense rivalry, and the strategic chess match between two brilliant coaching minds.
It's going to be fascinating to see how all of these elements come together on game day.
So you're watching the game, right? You've got Taylor Swift in the stands, Mahomes and Allen battling it out on the field, and a rivalry that's fueled by both fierce competition and mutual respect.
Right.
What else should you be thinking about?
Ooh, good question.
As you watch this epic showdown unfold?
Here's something to consider.
Okay.
Think about the narratives that will emerge from this game.
Okay, the narratives.
Who are the key players that step up and make those game-changing plays?
Right.
What are the turning points that shift the momentum?
Yeah.
And ultimately, what are the stories that will be told about this game for years to come?
That's a great point. Every game has a story.
It does.
And it's up to us, the viewers, to interpret and appreciate those narratives as they unfold.
Exactly. And remember, it's not just about the final score.
Right.
It's about the journey, the effort, the moments of brilliance.
The moments of brilliance.
And the lessons learned along the way.
Wise words. We've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
From the pop culture buzz surrounding Taylor Swift's attendance.
Yeah.
To the strategic nuances of the game itself.
Right.
But there's one more question we haven't addressed.
Okay, I'm ready. We've talked about the quarterbacks, the coaches, even Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
But there's another crucial element.
Okay.
That can make or break a team's success.
Right.
especially in a high-stakes game like this.
Despite these, I bet you're thinking about those unsung heroes.
Yeah.
The ones who don't always get the spotlight.
Exactly.
The offensive and defensive lines.
Exactly. Those guys are the foundation of any successful team.
Right.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Mahomes and Allen can't execute those incredible plays if they don't have time to throw the ball.
Right.
That's where the offensive line comes in.
Right.
Their job is to protect the quarterback.
Right.
Create those pockets of space.
Right.
And give them the time they need to make those game-changing throws.
It's like they're the bodyguards shielding their quarterback from those massive defensive players who are trying to sack them.
Exactly.
I can't even imagine the pressure they're under, especially in a game of this magnitude.
And on the flip side, you've got the defensive line.
Right.
Whose mission is to break through that offensive line.
Right.
Get to the quarterback.
Right.
And disrupt the play.
Got it.
They're the ones who can create those game-changing sacks, force fumbles.
Yeah.
And put pressure on the opposing offense.
So it's like a constant battle in the trenches.
It is a battle.
These massive guys going head-to-head on every play.
Every single play.
It's the kind of thing that casual fans might not even notice.
Right.
But it's absolutely crucial to the outcome of the game.
And it's not just about brute strength.
No.
There's a lot of technique, strategy, and coordination involved.
Oh, yeah.
These guys have to work together as a unit.
Yeah.
Communicate effectively. And anticipate each other's moves.
Wow.
It's like a well-oiled machine.
Right.
And if one piece breaks down, the whole system can falter.
So you're telling me if I really want to understand what's happening in this game,
yes,
I should keep an eye on those battles in the trenches.
Absolutely. Watch how the offensive line creates those pockets of space for the quarterback.
Okay.
Pay attention to how the defensive line tries to penetrate those blocks and get to the quarterback.
All right.
Those battles often determine the flow of the game.
Yeah.
Even if they don't always make the highlight reels.
Okay, so I've got the quarterbacks, the coaches, the lines. What other hidden factors should we be watching for?
Well, let's not forget about special teams.
Oh, special teams.
These are the guys who come in for field goals, punts, and kickoffs.
Right.
They may not be on the field for every play, but they can have a huge impact on the game.
For sure.
A missed field goal,
yeah,
a blocked punt,
right,
or a big return can shift the momentum in an instant.
It's true. I remember watching games where a single special teams play completely changed the outcome.
Yeah.
It's like a hidden weapon.
It is.
That can suddenly emerge and surprise everyone.
And then, of course, there's the X factor.
Okay.
That we can't predict.
Oh, right.
Turnovers.
Yeah.
A fumble.
Yeah.
An interception.
Huge.
These can completely swing the momentum of the game.
Right.
Think about those moments where a defensive player intercepts the ball.
Right.
And runs it all the way back for a touchdown, what we call a pick six.
Oh, yeah, pick six.
It's an instant game changer.
Oh, yeah, those are heart-stopping moments.
They are.
You're on the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
Wondering who's going to make that game-changing play.
And speaking of the edge of your seat, let's talk about the psychological aspect of the game.
Okay, the psychology.
These players are performing under immense pressure, with millions of people watching.
Yeah.
And the stakes couldn't be higher.
Right.
The mental toughness required to stay focused and composed in that environment is incredible.
You know, I've always been fascinated by the mental game in sports.
Yeah, me too.
How do these players manage the pressure?
Right.
How do they stay calm and make those split-second decisions when the game is on the line?
Right.
And with Taylor Swift watching from the stands,
yeah,
you have to wonder if that adds another layer of pressure.
I think it has to.
Especially for Kelce, Mahomes, and Allen.
It's an intriguing question.
It is.
We've talked about the potential for added motivation.
Right.
But it's also possible that her presence could create distractions or even heighten the pressure.
Right.
Think about it. You're trying to execute a perfect play.
Yeah.
With millions watching, including a global superstar who happens to be dating your teammate.
Yeah, your teammate's girlfriend is a global superstar.
That's a lot to handle.
It is. It's like a real-life experiment in psychology and performance.
It really is.
And it makes you realize that sports are not just about physical skill and athleticism.
No.
The mental game is just as important, if not more so.
Absolutely. And this AFC Championship game is a prime example of that.
Right.
It's not just a battle of skill and talent.
Yeah.
It's a battle of wills, a test of mental fortitude.
Wow.
And a showcase of how these athletes can perform under immense pressure.
We've talked about the players.
Yeah.
But let's not forget about the coaches.
The coaches?
What kind of impact can they have on a game like this? They're not out there on the field.
Right.
But they're still a crucial part of the equation.
Think of the coaches as the architects of the game.
Okay. architect.
They're the ones who design the game plan, analyze the opponent's weaknesses, and make those critical in-game adjustments that can turn the tide. It's like a chess match on the sidelines.
Oh, yeah.
Where they're constantly trying to outsmart their opponent and put their players in the best position to succeed.
So it's not just about having talented players.
No.
It's about having a coach who can utilize those talents effectively.
Exactly.
Make those strategic decisions and inspire their team to victory.
Precisely. A great coach can be the difference between a good team and a championship team.
Wow.
They can instill confidence, create a winning culture, and make those game-changing calls that can lift their team to victory.
You know, we've talked about a lot of different aspects of the game.
We have.
The quarterbacks, the lines, the coaches, the mental game, special teams, even Taylor Swift's presence.
A lot.
But as we watch this game unfold, what are some key things we should be paying attention to?
Good question.
What will help us understand the deeper story that's playing out on the field?
Here's a challenge for you.
Okay.
As you watch the game, pay attention to the narratives that emerge.
The narratives.
Who are the key players who step up and make those game-changing plays?
Right.
What are the turning points that shift the momentum? And ultimately, what are the stories that will be told about this game for years to come?
I love that.
Yeah.
It's not just about the final score.
No.
It's about the human drama, the strategic brilliance, and the unpredictable moments that make sports so compelling.
Exactly. And this AFC Championship game has all the ingredients for a truly epic story.
You've been amazing at breaking down all the different angles of this game.
Oh, thanks.
You've helped me see this game in a whole new light.
Good.
It's not just about football. It's about pop culture, psychology, strategy, human drama.
Right.
It's a microcosm of life itself.
It really is.
I can't wait to see how it all plays out.
Me neither.
Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
You're welcome.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
My pleasure. Enjoy the game, everyone. And remember, no matter who wins or loses, the real victory is the shared experience, the passion, and the stories that will be told for years to come.
You've got that right. And who knows, maybe we'll be back to dissect those stories in a future deep dive.
Might have to.
Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the things that fascinate you. Okay, so we've talked about all these different factors that could affect the outcome of this game, but there's one question that keeps coming back to me. It's the elephant in the room, the Taylor Swift factor.
It is the question we've been dancing around this whole time. How might her presence actually affect the players on the field, especially those closest to her, Kelce, Mahomes and Allen?
Exactly. I mean, we've talked about the added pressure, the motivation, the potential for distractions, but could it go even deeper than that? Deeper. Could her presence actually change the dynamics of the game itself?
Well, think about the atmosphere in the stadium.
Okay.
It's already going to be electric with the AFC Championship on the line.
Right, of course.
But now add in the fact that a global superstar like Taylor Swift is in the stands.
Right.
The energy is going to be off the charts.
Yeah. So how might that impact the players? Could that heightened energy actually elevate their performance?
It's possible.
Could we see them playing with even more intensity, more passion, more drive to impress?
It's certainly possible. Athletes feed off the energy of the crowd.
They do.
And this is a crowd unlike any other they've experienced before.
Right.
It could be like a shot of adrenaline pushing them to play at their absolute peak.
But on the flip side, could that same energy also be overwhelming?
It could.
Could it lead to nerves, to mistakes, to players trying to do too much?
That's the fascinating part. We can't predict how each individual player will react.
Right.
Some might thrive under the spotlight, while others might crumble under pressure. It's a real-life psychological experiment unfolding before our eyes.
And it adds this whole other layer of intrigue to the game. We can analyze the stats, study the playbooks, make our predictions, but ultimately the human element is what makes sports so unpredictable and so captivating.
Exactly. We can speculate all we want, but the only way to find out how this all plays out is to watch the game unfold.
So here's what I'm going to be doing as I watch the game. I'm going to be paying close attention to Kelce, Mahomes, and Allen. I'm going to be looking for those subtle cues, those changes in their demeanor, their body language, their play. Are they more fired up than usual? Are they making riskier plays, or are they more cautious, more hesitant? It's like a real-time detective game trying to decipher the impact of this unique situation.
I love that, and I encourage all of you listening to do the same life. Watch the game with that extra layer of awareness. Pay attention to the players, the coaches, the crowd, the energy. you might be surprised by what you discover.
This whole deep dive has been amazing. You've helped me see this game in a whole new light. It's not just about football, it's about pop culture, psychology, strategy, human drama. It's a microcosm of life itself.
And that's what makes sports so fascinating. They're a reflection of our society, our values, our dreams, our struggles. And when you have a game like this with so much at stake, so much talent, and so much intrigue, it's an event that transcends the sport itself.
I can't wait to see how it all plays out. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. It's been an absolute pleasure.
My pleasure. Enjoy the game, everyone. And remember, no matter who wins or loses, the real victory is the shared experience, the passion, and the stories that will be told for years to come.
You got that right. And who knows, maybe we'll be back to dissect those stories in a future deep dive. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the things that fascinate you.